What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Ask Alex, where this is the show where we take your questions and answer them here on this show. I'm your host, Alex Hampton, and today we have a crazy, controversial show for you guys today. And today I'll be tackling the show by myself. Today is actually the first time in a while where I've done the show by myself. So I'll be tackling the show today. Shout out to my co-hosts. They're actually a little bit busy today, so they weren't able to make it. But I'll be more than happy to tackle the show for you guys. And like I said, we have a jam-packed show for you guys today. And this is your very first time ever watching any of my videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Then hit that bell right next to it. That way you get all the notifications of every time I'm releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. And guys, go ahead and hit that like button. That way you can get all my videos in the algorithm. That way you can see every time I'm releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. And if you guys want your topic or question on this show, it's very simple. Just send me an email at the AskAlexShow@gmail.com. That's the AskAlexShow@gmail.com. If you submit your topic or question on my show, it could potentially be answered here on my show. I get a few of them throughout the week, and I'll be more than happy to go through them and talk about those questions on my show. So now that we've gotten that out the way, you guys, let's go ahead and jump to the first question of the day. And the first question comes from a returning guest who's asked the question before, Mr. Curtis Jackson, and he writes, "Hey Alex and crew, some new footage of Zack Snyder's Justice League cut was released yesterday showing Superman in the black suit. It seems like this movie will be very different from Josh Whedon's cut." From the Josh Whedon cut. What do you guys think about this footage? Well, thank you for your question, Curtis. So what Curtis is referring to, if you guys don't know, literally about a couple days ago, Zack Snyder released like a 17-second clip of Superman in the black suit talking to Alfred. And it's very very brief, and we see him finally in the black suit, and it's all of its cinema glory. And to answer the question, what do I think about it? From a comic book standpoint, it does look cool to see. We finally get to see Superman in the black suit. But I'm sorry, but I have to say that I am not necessarily all gung-ho about the Zack Snyder cut. I've said before on the show, and I've said before on other shows, that the Zack Snyder cut is not necessarily something I'm interested in seeing because a lot of his DC movies are not that great. Don't get me wrong, I love Man of Steel. I love Man of Steel, but Batman vs Superman was not that great. Even with the extended cut, which made the movie a whole lot better, it wasn't all of that, in comparison to the theatrical cut. Now that we're getting Zack Snyder's vision of this whole entire movie, I just don't understand why people think that this is going to be like the greatest Justice League movie ever. I don't understand that, because these are the very same people who think that, this movie, these are very same people who think that that Zack Snyder is not a great director in what he's done for the DCEU. If you look at the Rotten Tomato scores of these movies that he's done, they have bad reviews. And not only that, if you follow any form of social media about anything that Zack Snyder has done in terms of comic book movies, whether it's Watchmen, Man of Steel, the Batman vs Superman, and even what little he did do in Justice League, not everyone liked it. So when I'm thinking about the Snyder cut in itself, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of this Snyder cut. Yes, it's cool that as a director, as a creative, he's going back to redo the project, re-edit it, cut some scenes together, and really put a fine finish on it, which is dope, but at the same time, I don't think that this is anything. It's not going to be anything exciting for me, at least for me. But what do you guys think? What did you guys think about the 17-second clip? What do you guys think about the Zack Snyder cut finally getting finished? Jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Now let's go ahead and jump into the next question. And the next question comes from another returning person who asked me a question before, a Miss Iris Peoples. And she writes, "Hey Alex, so a lot of movies have been pushed back due to this virus. And it seems to me that studios may not want to release any of their movies this year due to theaters being closed. So, do you think that these studios should release their movies next year instead of this year? Well, thank you for your question, Iris. So, as you guys know, Tenet just got delayed indefinitely. So did Mulan. A lot of other titles that we know have gotten pushed back, like the Spider-Man 3 movie under Sony's getting pushed back. Venom got pushed back, and Avatar and the Star Wars movie that Disney was working on. Those projects have been pushed back due to this virus, due to theaters being closed, and just a lot of crazy things happening within the theater industry. I have not necessarily talked about my thoughts about theaters closing per se. I have talked about things being released this year, and my overall thoughts is that AMC and Regal have lost their biggest market, which is in California, where they shut down everything in California. Like, that's one of their biggest movie markets. And New York has shut those things down. I live in Florida. There are no movie theaters open in my area. So it's kind of unwise from a studio standpoint to put out a movie, at least right now. Now, there are reports to say that theaters will potentially reopen sometime in mid-August, maybe later than that. My overall thought is that, listen, I think the movie season is just DOA. I don't think any studio should worry about releasing a movie this year. Contractually, they can't put it on streaming because they have some contractual obligations that they have to abide by. So I understand why they haven't put most of these tentpole movies on streaming. However, I do think, though, it's kind of unwise to think about releasing movies during this time. Most cities right now are still undergoing a lockdown or a very minimum lockdown. And even if you were to put a movie out this year, it's not going to get the box office return like they are hoping for. So to keep a movie going on, these tentpole movies like Tenet and Black Widow and Mulan and all these other stuff that's coming out for at least for 2020, I think 2020 is just DOA. I don't think anybody should be going to the theaters. I've even said on the show, I said, even if Tenet did come out this year, I'm not going to the theaters to go see it. I'm not going to the theaters to go see it, and I'm not going to put myself at risk of potentially getting sick, because right now we're in a position where we're not in a position of certainty. So I'm not going to lose my life for something that's not essential at the moment. So I think the theaters should remain closed until we get a better handle of this situation. I do feel bad that we won't be able to get to see the movies that we want, but I will say this: Universal was actually smart pushing Fast and Furious 9 to 2021 because that was $1 billion movie. That movie needs to come out in a year where we could potentially be in a good spot. And 2021 can look promising depending on how we're going to make it out of this situation. But at the end of the day, I think all these movies, these theaters should remain closed until we get a better handle of our world situation. But, what do you guys think? Jump into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Do you think the theaters should remain open? Do you think they should remain closed? I would love to have a dialogue with you guys. So jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into the last question of the day. And the last question comes from a Keith Waters. And he writes, "Hey crew, with limited movies that came out this year, do you think there will be an Oscar award show? Given the circumstances, do you think that the Oscars should cancel the show this year?" Well, thank you for your question, Keith. So, with 2020 being so weird this year in terms of their movie season, some of their movies have gone directly to streaming. Some of them were able to come out with a very, very limited release due to what's going on. So And it does pose the question: should the Oscars cancel their award season for 2020? And honestly, I would have to say, yeah, they would, because right around like Oscar season movies start really in the spring and then going into the fall. We don't know if we're going to go back to the theaters, anytime this year with any form of certainty. And all the movies that have come out prior to, this virus taking over the world in a sense, I don't believe those films were like Oscar worthy. I mean, what were you gonna give Bloodshot the best picture award? Or are we gonna give Onward the best animated movie in the world? Like I just I don't think it's wise to host an award show given the fact that there wasn't much competition this year due to what's going on. I personally don't really watch the Oscars that much. I'm not really a huge fan of the Oscars, to be honest, but at the same time, I do think that any award show that's awarding any form of film, given the circumstances, like, I mean, unless I look at it like this, unless the Oscars start nominating movies that went directly to streaming, like some of these Netflix movies that come out and some of these Disney Plus movies and Hulu movies, like all the stuff that directly went to streaming, I think that would be kind of cool. And also nominating maybe a few movies that actually did come out to theaters. But other than that, if they're going to do that with streaming, cool. But other than that, I don't think there should be a show. I mean, like I said, there wasn't that much competition. And on top of that, like, we're just in a weird movie season. As I discussed before in my previous question, the theaters don't look like they're going to be making any type of ground game in any part of this year. So with that being said, there shouldn't be an Oscar situation or Oscar season award of any kind. But what do you guys think? Do you think that the Oscars should come out this year? Do you guys think that we should get a show showcasing the movies that have come out, whether it's on streaming or in theaters? Just jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Ask Alex. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you get all the updates of every time I'm releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. Please go follow all of my co-hosts on their various social medias, which I will leave links in the descriptions below. And also check out all of our channels individually, what we're doing. We have a lot more content coming out on Momentum Media. My top 10 MCU movies will come out tomorrow on Tuesday, so definitely check that out. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, you have a blessed day.